ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. இந்த ஒரு முக்கியமான ஒரு நாள் இன்னைக்கு. தேங்க்ஸ் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் மகேஷ் அண்ட் மாலா. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கேன் அவங்களோட இந்த புக் ரிலீஸ் அன்றைக்கி இங்கே வர முடிஞ்சது. ரொம்ப I mean this is a very special landmark for her. I mean, I'm feeling so happy for her and wishing her the very, very best. The book has got amazing reviews and that's what is so that's what makes us so happy. And in fact it's a coincidence that our family is also part of this occasion, because there is something that I wanted to share. Is our family, that's my great grandfather, for the last 120 years has been dedicated to the service of women's health. And our my mother has been has been practicing for the last so many years, and we specialize in medicines for infertility. So it's quite a coincidence that we are also part of this whole occasion, and we feel really happy, Mahesh, and all the best to you, and wishing you the very best.
First of all, thank you Mahesh and Malaji for inviting me here. ஜனங்களை பார்க்குறதுக்கே சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. கோவிடுக்கு அப்புறம் அது தெரிஞ்ச முடிஞ்சிங்கள ஸ்டேஜில் இவ்வளோ பேர் ஜாமான் டான்ஸ் ஸ்பீக் ஐ கெஸ். பட் வெரி ஹாப்பி டு பி ஹியர். அண்ட் நிறைய ரிவ்யூஸ் அந்த புக்கை பற்றி படிச்சுட்டு இருந்தேன். ஐ வாஸ் லுக்கிங் ஃபார்வர்ட் டு கெட் மை காப்பி அண்ட் மை காப்பி. அண்ட் வாட் அ வண்டர்ஃபுல் ஸ்டார்ட் ஃபார் திஸ் ஈவினிங். உத்தரா கிருஷ்ணன் சாங் ரியலி பியூட்டிஃபுல்லி வெல். அவங்களாம் பார்க்கும்போது எங்களுக்கு இன்னும் இன்ஸ்பிரேஷனாக இருக்குது. நல்லா ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணணும்னு தோணுதில்லை. Thank you. And I wish Maharaji all the very best and many more to come. Thank you. Namaskar.
Who sings so beautifully. And of course, why not? It is in her legacy. Her father, such a great musician. Her family is devoted to music. So Uttara, more and more strength to your voice and to you. God bless you. The second, for me as an artist, I was observing what was going on and I felt so touched that Mala was here, her daughter is here, and feeling so proud about her mother's achievements. And there is Mahesh there, and Mahesh's son there, Mala and Mahesh's son. The whole family rooting for Mala. I know how special that feels. Absolutely, absolutely. So God bless you. Because of course you sing in so many places, but when Sai is sitting right in the front row and he's steering me, it gives a very special feeling. If my daughters are there, it is even more special. So I know what Mala is going through at this moment. This is what families are about. So hats off to the Mahesh family for being so well bonded and supportive of each other. That's the second reason why I feel this is a special evening. The third is what Mala has written about. I have heard the great writer and thinker Maureen Gaffney write and speak about 4 different reasons or purposes that we have as human beings. The first is we want to protect ourselves.
Thankful for having me here. Be here on this happy occasion. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and lovers of literature, people who enjoy books, friends of the Mahesh family, great musicians on the stage, my dear friends. Writing a book is no easy feat, because you take a piece of paper, the first few lines come out. By the time you finish the paper, you're convinced it is not so good. And then you leave it, and the next day you read it, you're convinced it's very bad, and you junk it. So many scripts lie scrolled up inside our waste paper baskets that the idea that you pick, you have to actually find a good enough idea to stay invested in it for a very long period of time when you're writing a novel. And as it has been said by Mala and Mala's daughter, that it's 11 years of effort. So for 11 years you should get tired of these characters and the settings and their predicament. And this is indeed a testament to the fact that there has to be some depth inside this. So when one is looking at Padma's life and trying to figure it out, there are so many layers inside Padma's life which is so unique. And it was in 1900, 100 years before. And around that period, when a woman didn't have a child, it was, literally curtains, even if your husband loved you. And if your husband goes and takes another wife and there's a child born, she's so excited, and I started getting a feeling that I'm going to see Yashoda and Devaki kind of a phenomenon here, because you're raising somebody else's child, and then when the child slips and falls, it's like, oh my God, it's like, what has happened? And then the trials and tribulations and the love of the husband. But what struck me was the kind of quality of Victorian literature inside that, wherein which she moving to another house and then becoming an agriculturalist and raising money and wealth and thereby retaining her status, that seemed a very positive, strong force in the agrarian society in that time. Women were just about getting educated, and to be able to think of a character, which is a real character in this particular case, that she could sufficiently give wealth. But there is so much of complexity in the character. It's not just a pure, nice person. Diamonds come in, family politics come in, and you make mistakes and then you recover. And this is one such story. And when you're counterpointing it with 100 years later, and then things are so different, right? So you have, but the tribulations are the same. So when I was reading this story, I was fascinated by another great book which I had come to know and read and seen, and it's called The French Lieutenant's Woman. It's by Tom Fowles. And Fowles writes about it in a way wherein which he was fascinated by one visual of a Victorian woman standing on a quayside. And she used to work in some family, and she was sort of disgraced, and she stood in the quayside looking at the sea. So based on this visual, he kind of conceived the entire story and wrote it. And there also you have this triangular structure of a man, another woman, and this trials and tribulation, money coming in, going, and all that. But what was interesting is something for you. The intercut that you see is there in the film, but the book, it's a different. It's 3 possible endings. But when it became a film with Harold Pinter, they intercut between the lives of the actors and the characters written, and it keeps cutting back and forth. So maybe there is a film in your book. Probably you'll have to look at a slightly different structure and get Harold Pinter involved or some person. But yeah, so there is definitely a story inside this, and it's worth making into something. So I do hope that your dreams are fulfilled in such a manner. And Naina's character is far more complex than Padma's. It becomes so much more intriguing. But having said that,
thank you all for joining me on the stage. We'll be having the main book launch right now. Thank you.
ரோஜா தமிழ் டிவி வியூவர்ஸ் எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இதுவரை நீங்கள் பார்த்த இந்த நிகழ்ச்சி உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். இது மாதிரி பல சுவாரஸ்யமான நிகழ்ச்சி உங்களை வந்து சென்றடைய நீங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டியது ஒன்றே ஒன்று தான். ரோஜா தமிழ் டிவியை லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள், கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்கள், சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ண மறந்துடாதீங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் எங்களோட செய்திகள் உங்களை வந்து உடனுக்குடன் வந்து அடைய நீங்கள் செய்ய வேண்டியது ஒன்றே ஒன்று தான். பெல் பட்டனை கிளிக் பண்ண மறந்துடாதீங்க.